Hi everyone, this is a very different kind of a video that I have never filmed before. It's a different format altogether. So I thought this week I don't have a lot of time for vlogging, but I do have a few things that I want to talk about, so I'll take that up in this video. I've told this to no one right now, but I'm moving out of Bangalore. So I have my reasons why I'm doing that. I don't really want to discuss it publicly, but certain things have happened that have led me to make that decision that I should leave Bangalore. But yeah, I thought I'd just share a few things with you regarding my experience in Bangalore, although nobody asked. But I thought that it would be good to just watch later on, use this as a form of documentation, because that's what my job has taught me as an IT engineer, that you should document everything. So I thought, why not? If I'm using this channel anyway as a document of my life, then even if nobody cares about it, I care about it, and this is something I would like to look back at in a couple of years, I guess. So I curated a few questions for myself, because I don't have any audience who would ask me these questions, nor did I care enough to have a poll and have people ask me. So yeah, I'll start it right away. When did you move to Bangalore? So I first landed in Bangalore on 16th July 2022. So I'm very good at dates and numbers, so yeah, I remember that. But after landing here, the very next day, I left for my work trip in Goa, and from there I came back to Bangalore, I think on 22nd or 23rd of July, whichever was a Saturday. And that was the first time I moved to Bangalore and started living here full time. Why Bangalore? That's a question that I have asked myself a lot of times. So I had a lot of options when I had to move, because I had a permanently work from home job. I could have literally gone anywhere. Bangalore was not the place I had to choose. So my primary reason for choosing Bangalore was because I heard so many people have jobs in Bangalore only, like most of the IT jobs are in Bangalore. So I wanted to come and see what the culture of the city is like. Can I find opportunities here, or can I make connections here? Just what a general vibe here is. The one thing I expected was that I'll find like-minded people, or the crowd would be like me, just youngsters who work in IT. And that was something which turned out to be true. So yeah, this place is full of people from IT, and like we have things to talk about, bond about, and like they say that if you throw a stone at anyone in Bangalore, most probably they'll be an IT engineer. And that is true. That actually is true. It's so easily to bond with people here because everyone has similar life, and yeah, it has been great being here. Another reason was that my sister already lives here, so we decided to share a house together. So it would feel like I am not exactly away from home, because moving to an unknown city by yourself when you don't have a job there, you don't already know people there, so that's going to be very challenging, right? So it was a good thing that my sister already lived here, so it felt like the right place to move. I could also afford it, so I was like, why not? Why did you move to Bangalore? This question is a little different from the previous one. So basically what I'm trying to address here is that why did I decide to basically move out? I went to a college where I had to live in a hostel for 3 years. I say 3 years because during my 6th semester, COVID had come in March and we all had to go home, and my duration in college was cut short by a little more than a year. So I was always looking for that closure that, it ended abruptly and I didn't feel good about it. That closure never happened, but yeah, it is just something that stayed in my mind always, that my college experience was cut short. I was living my life to my fullest. So basically, being a hostler, I had so much freedom, and it was just such an experience being away from home and calling your own shots. And it was so fun socializing with people, making new friends all the time. Being used to that kind of freedom, I definitely felt like I was missing out, especially in those 2 years of lockdown. It was almost hell, because it's not like people were stopping me that you cannot have a social life, you cannot go out. It was the pandemic which was stopping me, and I could literally not go out of my home even for a walk because it was dangerous, and I felt like I was on the verge of depression, or I might have been, I don't even know. So I knew that someone who is so free-spirited and loves freedom so much, being at home is not good for me. So I finished my college in lockdown. I started my internship in lockdown. I also started my first job in lockdown, and not just my first job, I also started my second job in lockdown, and it was a permanent work from home job. So I saw like there's no way I'm getting out of home. So especially when in 2022, after May, June, it had become clear that COVID was going away and probably won't come back. I knew that this was the best time to move away. I had been talking about it since the moment I had gotten a job. I had kept saying at home that, you know what, I'm going to go, please don't stop me. And funnily enough, nobody did. They also knew and understood the importance of living life on your own terms. So they also wanted me to go out. In fact, they wanted me to have a job which called me to office, not permanently work from home. But there was the circumstances, so I couldn't do anything about it. But yeah, I said I want to move out. My parents agreed, so I moved out. Right before moving out, I remember this feeling that I had started second guessing that decision. I was being very scared. I had gotten cold feet, like, am I making the right decision? Because it's a huge deal, right? We are moving from north to the south, like entirely different area. You know, you'll have cultural differences, language barriers, and especially with all the problems that you keep hearing between people of Bangalore, between the locals of Bangalore and people who have come from the north. I knew it was going to be a challenge altogether, and it was. But at the very end, I was like, you know what? Life is supposed to be a challenge. I cannot second guess everything that I want to do. And what's the worst that can happen? I might not like it and I might just move back, right? I was okay with it. And I also knew that I have my sister here. So if something really bad happens, she can at least handle some of it. So yeah, I was like, you know what, I've made up my mind. I've been thinking about it for a year. No need to second guess it at the very last moment. And I packed my bags and I flew to Bangalore. So that was mainly my reason why I moved, because of the need for independence. I remember saying it at one point at home that I feel like I've become brain dead, because it was a routine that my mom set for me, that you have to wake up, you have to take a bath, you have to eat, you have to work, when you sleep, when you do what, I'll decide that. And I had just stopped using my brain at some point. I needed constant stimulation to feel like I was thinking about my life and my future, because I had reached that point where I had stopped caring. Like, whatever happens, happens. I don't care about anything. Would you recommend anyone to move to Bangalore? Yeah, I think I would. It's for people who have the same mindset as me, you know. I know a lot of people don't like Bangalore because of various reasons. Some people are homesick, some people don't like the culture, some people stay in PGs, they don't have their own flats, so the food that they get there is not what they like. And like, I get all of that. But if you live independently like me and you know how to do your own basic chores, then I think it's a great place. Obviously, everyone talks about the weather of Bangalore. It is great, of course. But I feel like, at least in the areas where I live, there's so many people from the north that you don't really feel like there's a lot of cultural barrier or language barrier. Everyone almost speaks Hindi. And in my society as well, whenever I go out, I hear people talking in Hindi only. So most people are from the north only. And apart from the fact that it's an expensive place, if you can afford actually to be at an expensive place like Bangalore, then I think it's worth it. But to each their own, honestly. I would recommend someone to come here, but again, if you feel like Noida, Gurgaon is a better place for you, then sure, it's your call. How was your experience in Bangalore? My experience in Bangalore was very mixed. Like, I have mixed opinions of my whole journey so far. I feel like I enjoyed it on some days, and on some days I was like, I just want to leave. And it had nothing to do with Bangalore actually. I think it had more to do with the fact that I did not socialize as much. I did not do enough networking. And to be very honest, I also had my hands tied because I had a work from home job. I don't go out. I don't talk to people on a regular basis. So yeah, I'm also not an extrovert. So it definitely does not help my case that I don't have a social life. But at the same time, I enjoyed my company a lot. I did a lot of growing in this room only. Everything happened here. I have cried so many times. I have laughed so many times. I've had my best moments here. I've also had my worst moments here. So I think it was an experience. Every day I woke up with a different perspective. Some days I was so glad that I was here, that I could go out anywhere. I could do whatever I wanted, alone or with a few friends that I have. And on some days I was like, why am I even here? And sometimes the responsibilities of life, as in like waking up every day, working, and then cooking as well, keeping your room tidy, managing bills, talking to the house help and all that, it's sometimes very overwhelming. And I think that would happen whenever you live independently. It's got nothing to do with Bangalore in general. It was a learning curve for sure. On some days, I completely hated being the strong, independent woman, because I realized strong, independent woman does not just mean earning your own bread and not letting a man dictate your life. It also means taking care of yourself, you know. You have to take responsibilities of your life that seem mundane or boring, because nobody's going to do it for you. You get so habituated to your parents doing it for you that once you realize that you have to do things by yourself, it becomes such a burden, and you really start respecting what they have done for you, because I don't see myself being able to do this on the daily. But unfortunately, all of us have to. I think the best thing that came out of me living independently here was being able to cook, because I knew nothing. Like, just the very basics. I knew how to make tea, coffee, Maggie, and some other dishes, not from start to end, because my mom would always interfere and help me. But yeah, if you told me to survive by myself for a month, I probably wouldn't have been able to. But now I know if I have the resources, I can cook anything I want and I can just live. So yeah, that's one thing that being independent definitely taught me. I don't regret coming here at all. I think I've had an amazing time. I could have had a much better time if I was more outgoing. I honestly wish I was more outgoing, but I guess I can't really change my personality because I'm also a house cat. Would you ever come back? I've thought about it. I think I like this place. I've had a good time here, and I know most of the job opportunities, especially in the sector that I am, are in Bangalore, and I definitely don't hate the place, so I do want to come here. So I know I'm moving, but it's not a permanent decision. I'll definitely be coming back here. When? I don't know, but soon. That also reminds me, I've not addressed where am I moving. So currently I'm going home for a while, and after that I'll be moving to Noida, and I'll be living with my parents at home. And I mean, it's a change that I'm not ready for, because I ran away from home to come here, but I had reasons that were unavoidable and I have to move, because I definitely would have not wanted to leave by choice. But yeah, things come and things happen, and you have to make those decisions. What can I do? How am I feeling? You know, that feeling of FOMO that you have? I'm getting that already. Even though I didn't have much of a life here, I'm still getting a lot of FOMO about leaving this place. And I don't know what to do about it, but I think it's a natural feeling, just like how I was having second thoughts when I was moving from home to here. It's the same thing that I'm feeling right now about moving from here back home. But I know it'll all be alright. I'll eventually come back. One thing that I'm feeling the most weird about is leaving this room. Thankfully, my sister is taking this room, so that if I do ever happen to come here, I can stay in this room, because I cannot imagine walking into this house and not instinctively coming to this room, or not getting to see this room because it belongs to someone else. I know it will have a different vibe because it will be my sister's room, but at least it'll feel a little more familiar. But I feel very weird. Like, I get very attached to things very quickly. It can be materialistic things, people, situations, places, whatever. But I get very attached, and I feel very attached to this place, this comfort zone that I have. And it's just very difficult to feel like I'm letting this go. But at the same time, all my life I'm used to moving around because of my dad's transferable job. I have been moving around, so I felt this way a lot of times, but I've also gotten over it quickly. So I know it's just a temporary feeling. Once I'm back there and settled, I'll not feel this way anymore. But yeah, it's definitely something I am feeling right now. I know in my life, change is the only constant, so I have to keep embracing it. Things keep happening and things do change, and you have to just keep moving forward and accept it. And that's what I'm trying to do right now. So this is my last full week in Bangalore. Next week, I'm flying out on Thursday, saying my goodbye forever. I'm just getting too emotional for no reason. If I stop talking right now, I'll probably start to cry. I don't even know why, but I'm a very sentimental person when it comes to these things. As much as I love Delhi NCR, it feels like home. I have much more friends over there. Like, I have a more active social life than I have in Bangalore, but it still doesn't feel like the place that I'd permanently want to settle in. Definitely, being in NCR has more perks. There's more facilities. Things are less expensive than Bangalore. Here, due to the IT culture only, most of the things are inflated. But I also know that at the end of the day, to find more like-minded people and have more career opportunities, this is the right place for me. It's something I've known since I guess a month or two, and I've had a hard time coming to terms with it, but now I'm accepting it that, it's my last week, and I have to do this. I have to be strong enough. And yeah, I also hope my future self looks at this video and thinks that I am at a much better place now, because right now I don't talk about all of this on video or publicly or with people, but things have been very difficult lately, and that is also part of the reason why I have to move. But yeah, I'm just trying to find a little more stability in my life and trying to figure out where things are going. And 2023 in itself has been a very challenging year. 2024 is also going to be a challenging year, and I know that beforehand because we have plans even as a family, not just me, myself. So it's going to be hard for everyone. So when you know already that things are going to be challenging, you have to make yourself be mentally prepared for all of it, which is what I'm trying to do. So it's not like I can really expect 2024 to go easy on me. 2023 did not, and I know 2024 would not either, but I'm trying to be more positive and be more welcoming to all the challenges that are coming to me, and hopefully I can just come out of it happily and my life gets sorted quicker. So yeah, the next time I see you, I would have already left Bangalore, and there's more to come. There's more adventure that's to come this year as well. So I'm excited for that. I'll keep my head up high and accept whatever is coming. The most important thing is to keep a check that my mental health is doing okay. So yeah, I thought I'll just update everyone on what's happening in my life. There's going to be a few changes, and I don't know how I'll be keeping up with this whole vlogging and all. I'll have to figure that out, but hopefully everything works out. And yeah, I'll see you next week with another vlog. Bye.